We're gonna start it again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully this works out better. All right, I think I did it right this time. I apologize. All right, commentating. Go ahead.
All right, thanks, Shadow. So yeah, welcome to the third race of the evening.
Yes, let's see if it looks like the only one who's got some really weird points going on is Solar Cell, so he's looking for a team combo there. He's got Tia instead of Guy, which is an interesting take.
Yeah.
Tia.
A lot of regular parties are doing that.
Yeah. Tia is a quite fast character, but she isn't very strong. So replacing Guy with her is a bit of a... It's interesting. We'll see how it plays out for him.
Oh, there's already a curse lifter for Dankmeat. So, I'm pretty sure I didn't, being in the Our Voice channel, I didn't hear what Shadow explained, but I'm pretty sure he didn't go over the rules again, right?
Yeah.
So,
He didn't.
Yeah, basically runners get points for several things. A lot of them are regarding the jelly kill, so if you kill the jelly in several different ways, I'm probably gonna go into it when the time comes, or I don't know if you want to cover a rocket. Then there is party selection, which is what we're just talking about. So if you replace Guy, which is the blonde dude, with a different character, then you get points. And if you do not pick Artie, which fortunately no one did, you would also get a couple of points. And then if you, well, choose a non-optimal capsule monster, then you'll get a handful of points, which I think, as far as I can see, everyone did here. Oh no, Sully for Dragon CO, which will not give you anything extra. Yeah, it is a few random points for items you can find, killing certain enemies, getting certain item drops from enemies, and so on.
Yes, and it looks like at least 2 people have chosen Fumi, or they haven't changed away from Fumi at least. And then we have one armor dog. Otherwise, I haven't seen what Solar Cell has brought, but Dranko has Sully, which is a fairly standard choice, and Solar has Gusto, yeah. So there are a little few points going on from there. And if you write the exclamation mark points in the chat, you get up a list over all the rules set, which is pretty intense.
Yes, so I'm still a bit shaken from the end of the last race, to be honest.
Yes,
we were having some fun in the points keeping chat.
Yes, that was very interesting.
That was quite interesting, yeah.
And unexpected, so at least these races aren't boring.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a glass ring on Solar, which is a rare drop. It doesn't do much, but it's a rare, and the second time we see it today.
Oh, and there is a deadly rod for Dankmeats right away.
Oh, that's nice. He got curse lifter earlier, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's right. He immediately got a curse lifter. Of course, not looking to curse lifter right now, but a jelly fight.
Well, that's good. That's a good confidence thing to have.
Yeah, immediately after finding a deadly sword. So I'm not exactly sure whether Shadow or Creek are listening to this, but if you want to clarify the deadly rules as they stand, that would be helpful. I heard some talk of there maybe being some changes, but I don't want to spread any fake news.
I think what was posted in the announcement chat was that we are dropping the
Yeah, so we did get behind the scores, but we figured there could be like so many situations where you just couldn't stay on top of it. So in our news, Nemesis just found a S power ring, which is one of the 4 rarest items. So after the 2 gold items that have been found the first run, this is not your average RNG.
Hey. And of course, Gipsy gets a Berserk Blade, which might be worth mentioning for anyone thinking about running this game, is that Berserk Blade has a pretty high attack, but it's cursed. So if you equip it, you're stuck with it until you get a Curse Lifter, and you don't want to waste your Curse Lifters on a Berserk Blade. So most people either choose to drop it or feed it right away, or they have to be really careful about choosing the optimized equipment option when you equip.
Exactly, and feeding is what Skipsy immediately did. It went to the dog right away.
Yep.
Dankmeat got a tall shield here, which is technically a good item in practice. Not really. It has a 40% attack power buff, but with it being on Decker, it is hardly ever used. And I guess we're getting into very specific cave tech here right off the bat. Without explaining any of the basics, but I'm pretty sure Squealer and Dank covered those in the first commentary.
And if you look at Dragon Cove's screen, he has a little party room with a lot of enemies. And if you noticed, some of the chests have a slightly different color than the others, and those are mimics. It's very good that you can spot them, because if you get too close, they will attack you and murder you.
Very accurate.
An air jewel for Solar, which is, I don't think I've seen that drop in a year at least. So that's interesting.
It's another one that's not too useful.
It doesn't do anything, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Solar Cell also getting a tall shield. I guess that raises the chances of us actually seeing it used as a jelly, but something that probably should be mentioned. I mean, Shadow might have covered it in the intro, is that Dankmeats is 2 years ago winner of Fatal Blood, and Dragon CO won the one 3 years ago, so we're actually seeing 2 former champions featured in this race. And I guess Solar Cell won the Jelly Jam in January, so he's also, alongside Michi, an accomplished
he hasn't been
victor
for all that long in the game community, but he's been streaming it a lot. At least he did before last year's Fatal Blowout, and he's actually one of the people who've been practicing for this by getting 5 Decker Blades in one run. So
nice. Yeah, so Dragon CO has got a pretty good showcase of a treasure room that, if you're a beginning runner, would probably not make you happy, but if you know what you have to do, then it's a pretty easy to navigate room. Well, probably not stress-free, but not dangerous.
Oh, and then Nemesis manages to kill his one red core with the help of Fumi. So Fumi has been useful.
Yeah. In the beginning, we're pretty much looking at some level ups, some equipment gathering, and not really anything run breaking, I would hope, anyway.
Yes. For those wondering, red cores have 10 HP, so if you can manage to do that kind of damage, you're good at killing them. But they have they have so high magic resistance that it actually turns it negative, so they are very weak to magic, because they're so very resistant to magic, which is logic in this game, and thus having magic is very good against cores.
And they make up for it with a very high physical defense, so you don't have a spell in the main game when you find them on the overworld, then you can easily kill them because you're definitely going to have magic. But in this game, it is possible to go on floor 11 to 13, which is where they appear, and not have a single spell, and then you have to beat them with bare fists and no weapons. And so I saw a couple of people finding Ice Walk here, which is a tier 3 spell, which means it's one of the strong spells. In this case, it's also very helpful against Hedoras, which are enemies you're gonna approach at the 50s. So having that spell in particular, like Ice Walk in particular, is very nice to have.
Yes, and Dragonco just got Thunder, which is also gonna help him. It's also a tier 3 spell, which can be useful later on.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of cores here. Not sure if my perception deceives me, but I think a bunch of them have been killed as well.
Yes. I think just about everyone has gotten a core except Solar, who is currently fighting them. So he still has a shot since he's on core floors.
Yeah. And again, we're seeing really interesting pace from Dragon CO here.
Yeah, and we have seen a lot of party rooms, low-level party rooms, so they're not really scary. But then later on, those party rooms can absolutely wreck you.
Yeah.
And a strong for Solar, which is a very good healing spell because it costs very little MP for the amount of heal you can get from it.
Right. And getting one of the useless blue chest items, which is an engage ring.
Hey. He does have Tia though, but
he tries putting it in Tia, but the characters in the game know better because Selen is clearly the only one worth it.
Selen is the only one you can get engaged with. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate, you say.
I mean, yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna shut it about that.
Yeah, we saw a pretty fast start last time. Not in terms of floors, but in terms of very interesting items right away. 3 players pretty much got champion right away, and now we're seeing like the exact opposite. Like only one of them has strong at this point. I mean, it's only like 12 minutes into a run, but whether you get a healing spell or not in the whole cave attempt doesn't make a big difference, as you just said, Rocket. And
it is possible to beat the cave without a healing spell, as Creek has proved, but you don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I think it was Dragon CO last year, wasn't it? Who did get the point objective for that in-fail blowout. Very interesting.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. There was a trick ring last run as well.
And Dank got a secret fruit, according to the chat. That's interesting. We get.
Yeah, is he running Fumi? Knowing him, he might be.
Yeah, he's one of the people who run Fumi. Him and Nemesis.
Very nice then.
Okay.
So getting a capsule monster to M form is one of the goals that will get you, well, it's only 5 points if you look at it that way, but if you pick it up for free, like pretty much Dank just had here, definitely something you're gonna do.
Also worth noting on Dank's screen is that he found a healing pad, which if you see bushes that are different than the other bushes, sort of swirling in a little pattern, then it's a healing pad and they restore all your health, which are very nice to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. But who is winning? That is a hard question, and it's going to be a hard question like an hour from now to answer. It's going to take 2 hours in total, so the race is capped at 2 hours, and maybe fighting the jelly at the end. But who's going to be ahead at any point is very hard to say, because even if you're ahead in floors, it doesn't mean that you're ahead in equipment, and 2 hours should be enough for all these runners to make it to jelly, unless randomness decides that it shall not be, which means...
Dragon Code just got a Decade.
Oh, very nice.
And
that was good. for Skipsy, according to chat. Saw the cursive, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Dragon is dealing with... No, Dankmeats is dealing with Zombie Conga Line, which is... You can kind of break up like that if you engage them at the right point.
Yeah, he did so very nicely.
Yeah.
One advantage the more long-term runners are definitely going to have here is that they're going to be more experienced with the movement. As I say that, Dank gets surprise attacked by mushrooms. And... but, yeah, that is one of the enemies where I could see you just not paying as close attention. But later on, when the enemies where it really matters, it's definitely good to know the movement you got to do to go around them. I just saw Rally for Dankmeats.
Rally for Skipsy and a Deadly Rod for Solar Cell.
Oh, nice.
That's nice. That will give you that insta-kill, which makes you able to go fast.
Yes. Which is such a key item. Like I saw a Fatal Pick before, I think also for Skipsy. Basically the same thing.
And I think he's had 3 Berserk Blades now. So
oh wow.
He's managing to feed his armor dog quite well on Berserk Blades alone.
And you get a magic fruit right there. So yeah, feeding a capsule to the final form does not only require the correct fruit, but it also requires a lot of gear that you can just shove into it. And hope he likes it, so to speak. There's some strategy to that, but explain that would probably be a bit too much at this point.
Yeah. There is a strategy, and if you're really into it, I recommend checking out Squealer, one of the commentators on the previous run streams, because he does it a lot, and he does it well.
Yeah.
The rest of us mostly don't bother that much and just stuff things down his throat until they have had enough. And a Dagger Blade on Nemesis, that's good.
It is one of those things, if you run any percent or any of the or time optimized categories, I will say, the Capsule Monster doesn't play into it as much, or in case of any percent, the optimal run just has your Capsule Monster sitting on the side, not doing anything. So capsule feeding is probably not higher on the priority list, but it can definitely get you out of a close situation. Yeah. Players are progressing through the cave as expected. So I'm trying to get a queue on floors here. So I see Dragon CO at, what is that? So probably 25, 26 at B's.
Right.
Pullers at 16. Lucy and Dank look to be at 20.
Yeah, if you're unsure about where people are, then the tileset will give you an indication. The tower, the dungeon, the cave, and that, but it won't give you an accurate estimate. Like, you know approximately the bar park where they are.
Yeah.
So you'll get 3 people on the dungeon tile set and 2 people on the tower tile set. So you know the ones in the dungeon are further along than the tower.
That makes sense. I didn't even pay attention to that, but you're right, of course. I guess the music would also work, but
yes,
I got the stream muted.
Yes. And also paying attention to the floor numbers, but who does that?
Yeah, I know, right? So we get a black eye for Skipsy there. That is a particularly good item. Not one you want to get for points, but it's going to raise your agility and a couple of our stats.
Yeah, it gives 20 to about every stat except intelligence, I think. And it has a AoE, Fire Shadow AoE.
Exactly.
Now, Solar getting into a squish between mushrooms and goblins, I guess they are, sort of. Neither enemy is particularly scary, but getting sandwiched is always annoying because it costs you a lot of time.
Yeah. We see Skipsy going for Evil Fish, and he
Right.
managed to get a single one here, so it is not an enemy I would at any point feel comfortable encountering, but single one you can definitely afford. And the thing is, not only do you have to encounter them, you also have to get the drop, which I do not feel comfortable saying a number for because I don't know it off the top of my head, but yeah, he did not get in this case.
And he's picking a fight with Medusas, which is very dangerous.
Yeah, actually to the point where he's probably not going to make it out of this battle alive. Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. That is too bad, but it's still early and can still catch up if he goes for it.
Yeah. The 20 minutes lost means an hour and 40 left, which is definitely enough to not make a perfectly safe run, but yeah,
an okay
anything far from impossible. So I guess while we see these relatively early floors with not a whole lot going on, but occasional spikes in drama. I guess let me do a shout out to all the runners, of course, of this and the other races, the commentators, obviously, points keeping, of course, and of course Creek and Shadow who organized this whole thing. Now, of course, if you like the runs, then you know who to check out if you want to see more of those. If you're looking to do runs by yourself, maybe check out the Ancient Cave Discord, where you're gonna find all the crazy people, and also like some more in-depth threads than we could possibly cover them here. So just yesterday we talked to someone who was relatively new to the runs and was basically sharing a sentiment that a lot of us have, which is just we played it either in childhood or a couple of years ago, and discovered the game later on, just like the cave, and now we're here.
Come for the game, stay for the community, and
forever. That's right.
Forever.
Yeah, is that a threat? I'm afraid it is.
Yes.
So maybe very carefully pick whether you're gonna join that Discord, but.
And also, I'd like to do a shout out to EV__. Is there a third underscore? I don't know.
That's right. There is a third underscore.
Yeah. And thank you very much for providing the artwork for the title cards this year.
Yeah, very amazing.
So, champion on Nemesis. That is great. As they explained, the commentators on the previous run, champion is one of the best heals you get in the game because you can heal up your entire team with one cost. At least until you get like high levels, then you might need some extra on decker. But for the most part, you can.
Yeah. So Solar Cell just got a Spark Staff here.
Yes. Does he have a deadly equipped, or can he equip that?
I'm not sure. I lost track on that.
He has Tia, so she can equip the Spark Staff, right, as well?
Yeah, she can. Technically, they could both Tia and Artie, already have Delis equipped, but I doubt he would do that at this point. So Dragon CO goes around the Evil Fish, same as Dankmeats, so it looks like none of those two are going for it.
The Evil Fish is an interesting enemy because they are really easy to avoid most of the time, I would say around 90% of the time you can predict where they're going and move away. But if you are forced to fight them, they will wreck your face.
Yeah. If you're paying attention to the Meat stream just now, exactly like you said, Rocket, as long as you know where they're going, you can like move around them in a way that would probably, if you know this game from a casual playthrough and you're making those movements, probably gonna put a scare in you for a second, but you know what you're doing quite comfortably. Move around them.
As we can see, Solar Cell has been running into a teleporting mob, and teleporting mobs are their own little nuisance. They have a pattern to them, and you can avoid them. But a lot of the time, if you're a little bit stressed or going a little bit fast, then you accidentally run into them, and they can cost you a lot of time.
Yeah, they're gonna stay all the way until the end of the race. All the way up to floor 98. Whereas you could also see in the last race, it can easily cost, or almost cost around the race. Fortunately, that did not happen in the end.
Hey. You also have on Dragonco is in the Blue Mimic territory. And you can recognize blue mimics because there are more of them than regular blue chests. They are slightly less shiny than blue chests. And if you see a blue chest right next to a wall, that's a blue mimic. Because blue chests don't spawn next to walls.
Yep. Yeah, so Skipsy is on his second attempt at red mimics, whereas Dragon CO at the same time is facing blue mimics 20 floors after. So we got the usual shift if one of the runners providences or unfortunately dies.
Right. And Skipsy has a lovely party room ahead of him. But
I'm
he
not
did
sure
defeat
he
red
shares
mimics.
that.
So he should be fine.
Yeah. Bank Meats is explicitly pointing to one of the blue mimics.
That's a blue core for Dragonco. That's nice. That's 11,111 XP.
Definitely not gonna complain. Oh, and there is a blue mimic next to the stairs for Nemesis, so he doesn't have to kill it.
No. Better heal up and get ready to run.
Yeah. In almost every situation, it's advisable to run from him, even if you could kill him. It looks like he's feeding the capsule monster to possibly get some more HP here. Maybe that's the plan.
Maybe.
But
we'll see how
we will
that
see.
goes. And yeah, he won't get the points if he kills it because he can run. He's not forced into killing it. Or I'm a bit unsure of how that.
Oh yes, so are the creators of the rules. So
yeah, so Krieg and Shadow may clarify how that works when they figure it out.
I don't have the Google Doc open, but I'm pretty sure it says it relatively clear in the explanations. But I will not make a statement.
Only if a force
Shadows and
encounter
Krieg's
happens
place.
and you have to kill them, it says.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. So you don't have to kill these ones to progress. I mean, I guess you never have to kill them, but
You might be forced to, like, if they're on the stairs itself. or in front of a doorway which you have to go through, then you will be forced to kill them.
Yeah. I guess it's always up to interpretation, right? Like you could also say, well, I could Providence and my run would go on, but yeah. I think we have agreement that these would not yield any points for Nemesis. Wait, did I confuse the runners here? I think that was Dragon Seer who had to mimic.
Nemesis had a mimic, but
Nemesis had a mimic.
yeah, but they managed to run away, so it's fine.
Nice, I missed that completely. Some more cores here for Dank Meats, and he's actually getting both blue ones to stay. That's very nice.
Yeah, Dragonco is now on floors with crabs, so it might be worth paying attention to see if we get the Cancer Rock, which is one of those items which can help you in jelly fight later on.
Yeah.
I think though he's just skipping them and not bothering about it.
Yeah, so if he was one of the people who found Ice Walk early, and I think he was,
yeah,
or just not being entirely sure about that either, but if you agree, I would probably not waste too much time with them and go for Edoras instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do have enough time in this tourney. Oh, there is an interesting treasure room.
Yes.
This
is very... Because you can control the green ones to kettle in the assassins. Which might give you a chance to navigate that room without dealing with anything. But you kind of need to be really careful about your movement and how you operate.
Yeah, so he's looking to explore the rest of this floor for stairs, and only if he has to go into that room, because even though you can maybe get into it, you're definitely not going to get out of it without killing all of them.
Yeah.
Or encountering them a million times.
Yes. And it looks maybe like he needs to go there. We'll see if there's more rooms here or stairs in here.
Nemesis is apparently doing some emulator setup. Not sure what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Assassin room it is, right?
Yep.
Oh, and a Scissor Sword for Dank Meats and Champion for Solar, so
yeah.
Two runners in the last race have found the Scissor Sword.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but someone did. And, okay, Nemesis will be right back. So.
I see.
Nemesis going for the Cancer Rock, it seems. Garbrosts or crabs. They have a spell called Flame Defender, which I think it's like supposed to make you more defensible versus fire, but for some reason it makes you more vulnerable to fire.
Really, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting. Yeah, so Dank Meats gets the Cancer Rock here that Nemesis is still grinding for.
And Solar is fighting the evil fish.
Yeah, and he gets the Charm Fruit for it. Very nice.
Nice.
So, and he's apparently wasting the next 5 minutes to celebrate it. Yeah, so the game doesn't really give you a whole lot of ways to communicate with the viewers that you're happy. So you're usually either seeing the turn or sword slashes. There is an Iris Staff for a dragon.
Yes.
First Iris in this race, I believe.
Yeah, the first I've noticed at least.
Oh, and from a quick look at his treasure room, I don't think... Well, I do think he can barely reach the stairs without encountering any of the other assassins.
Yes.
But we'll see.
At least if we can manipulate the green... I think they're Draconians, are they?
Yeah, Dragonians, yeah.
Yeah, he can manipulate them to block off the other assassins, and he should be fine.
In this case, they're kind of manipulating themselves, which is very handy.
Yeah.
Because they're exactly in the spot they need to be for you to block off the assassins. But as soon as you cross the vertical... Oh yeah, okay, there's way more room there, I thought. From behind. Yeah. That was well played. You definitely...
Yeah. That could definitely have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a good call to explore the rest of the floor.
Yes.
And he's getting rally for it.
Nice. And Ice will walk on Dank Meats.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to hunt down more cancer rocks. Or Garbusts for cancer rocks, which he has been doing.
Yeah, so Solacell is looking at a mimic that could potentially be on the stairs.
Yeah. But he has a lot of room still left to explore before he needs to draw that conclusion.
Yeah, so let's hope he doesn't have to kill it, because, I mean, I'm not sure how happy he's going to be about the opportunity to gain those 5 points, but I'm just...
I don't think those 5 points are worth it.
Yeah, yeah. On the other hand, I guess, what are you going to do, you know? You have to fight it, so it's either you get the 5 points or you die anyway.
Yeah. It's a green core for Dragon Co, which is very nice.
Oh, and the Dragon Spear for Dank Meats.
Oh,
I don't think you can utilize that, but...
No, but the Dragon Spear is so nice. Especially if you get the Twist Jewel and a Dragon Spear, then you are just zooming through enemies.
Yeah, so to bring everyone up to speed, the Dragon Spear does plus 50 agility, which is the highest agility boost you can get in the game from an item. The next closest is 30 with a Twist Jewel, and then there is a couple of 20s and 10s and, you know, lesser amounts, and it should definitely be noted that agility is probably the most important stat for cave speedruns, or cave attempts in general, because allowing you to run away from enemies and just acting first in battle. Yeah. So everything that raises agility, like the Twist Jewel, is a really good item.
Yes. If you can find it, though. It drops from blue chests, or you can get it from the Bryn's List or later on. But the drop chance isn't all that high.
Yeah, so the Dragon Spear...
Sorry.
The Dragon Spear, as good as it is, unfortunately does not allow you to equip a Deadly Rod alongside it, so can't use it as well as you can use the Twist Jewel, but it still allows you to run away from enemies. That's what you want to do. That's all I want to say. I thought you wanted to say something.
I forgot what it was.
Alright.
Probably how great Twist Jewels are, and everyone should go and get one.
Yeah. Apparently someone had a Mr. Jewel. I missed it, but it almost has to be Nemesis, right? Oh wait, he's not at Sessions yet.
No.
Everyone else is at the feeding screen, AFK, so...
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out sooner or later.
Dank just dealing with those teleporting pumpkin heads and getting blocked by Uruchi warriors. Uchi warriors.
Actually, Samurai, yeah.
Samurai. They have the same sprite, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so... Samurai and teleporters are... I mean, teleporters are relatively easy to navigate around. At least those ones. Samurai are one of the more annoying enemies to deal with because of the RNG and, well, not just knowledge, but also keeping track of how they already moved all plays into their movement. So, yeah.
For Glassy Badger, yes, there have been people who's been running the randomizer too. There was a while a lot of people were trying it out when it was new, and there aren't that many people running it now, but it's something interesting that can be fun if you're into it. Although teleporting ninjas isn't all that fun.
Oh, it's great. It works pretty well, and it does fix a couple of weirdnesses about the cave, as we've been discussing lately, which is, for example, that you can only find rings, helmet, shields, and rocks up until floor 9, including, and not throughout the rest of the cave. The randomizer fixes that, and a couple of items you should be able to find in the game, but you can't. So yeah, that's not a luxury we get for regular runs, actually.
And Nemesis just had Mist Rapier, which is he referred to it as the poor man's
lizard blow.
Poor man's lizard blow. It's for 3 times that attack, but there are better ones out there. But if you're desperate, it will do.
It's a solar cell just killed a blue maybe. I'm curious to see. Oh no, it wasn't a forced one.
Yeah.
Was it? Unless, no, it wasn't a force. It couldn't have been.
Not forced. Dragon has been dealing with ninjas for a while, and which are the assassins' big brothers. Well, assassins are annoying and will hurt you. Ninjas will kill you.
Yes, very accurate. Also, since Shadowkill just posted a link to Discord in chat, let me do another shout out to the AC Discord, where you will find these crazy runners that are currently running, and definitely everyone else included in the tourney, as well as a lot of our people interested in the game and all the crazy things you can do around it, like, well, things like randomizers, delving into the game code and whatnot. If you're interested in any of those.
There is also a de-randomizer I've seen some people play it with, and I mean, if you don't like RNG, that is also an option.
Well, I guess you're still getting RNG, you're just always getting the same bad RNG.
Yeah.
You know?
Solar Cell fighting Mimics again? I did not see if these were forced, but...
Oh yeah, these ones do look forced.
Yeah,
they look a lot more
definitely
forced than the last time.
Yeah.
Not sure if the stairs are behind the store or only accessible through the store, but...
We'll see. Hopefully it... Well, yeah, hopefully it is, since he's actually killing them, and he doesn't go through there and then like, nope, sorry.
I'm pretty sure he would only encounter them, but then again, he just found one, fought one that wasn't required.
Yep. So, yeah, there they are.
Yep, no other doors in this room, so... That is the first person in the tourney that had to kill a blue mimic, and actually did so successfully, which is... I mean, blue mimics are really scary. They have a lot of HP and a lot of attack power, and of course an AoE attack to seal the deal. So, yeah.
They're also faster than you.
Yeah.
Blue chest and a camel.
He's taking a gamble, but now he's gonna have to fight the red plant to get out of this room.
Yes, but there's also a brains lizard in there, so he might want to do as well. For the twist.
I would say you definitely want to kill the twist, the brains lizard for twist, yeah.
Yeah.
Skipsy.
Skipsy playing with lions.
Getting a little bit scratched up there, yeah.
Yeah. Hot tip both for real life and the cave, don't tease lions.
Yeah, so... I didn't think there was anything he could have done there to get out of battle.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, personally, I can't blame him. I'm known to take gambles on lion encounters, so most of the time what happens is, because getting 100% encounter is not really possible, so you're chancing your way into a 50-50 most of the time, and yeah, doesn't always work out. High risk, lower reward for sure.
And
there is a lot of...
understood it and is fighting Brains Lizards for that twist too.
Yeah. You take nothing away from this commentary and just take away to always kill Prince Lizards for twist jewels. Unfortunately, doesn't get it done.
Nope. Oh well, there's another Brains Lizard in that room. You can still get it.
Yeah. Exactly, it is a really good item.
Yeah.
I mean, in a regular any percent attempt, you are happy if you get it, but you're not going out of your way for it most of the time. But in a tourney race like this one, where you have one attempt, or pretty much one attempt, to clear the cave and kill the jelly, that is pure gold item. I would say if you want to spend your time for anything, it's definitely Farm Twist Jewel.
And it can save you so much on Archfiends and Dragons. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, whether Audi outspeeds Archfiends or not is a world of difference. Now Skipsy finds himself in a Mimic room, so that's chest below the stairs is Mimic, and yeah, that is gonna be weird to navigate and to...
Unfortunately, Nemesis didn't get a twist either from his Brains Lizard fight.
Yeah, so Dank Meats and Dragons here are actually synced up, entering 47 at the same time.
Yeah.
So, again, floor doesn't really matter at this point, because this is a tournament judged by points. As I was explaining before, you get points for your party setup, what you do during the run, and how you kill the jelly. So all that, like the point total is the only thing that decides it, that decides when you, who wins or not. And yeah, there is a point objective for finishing 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever ahead of the 2-hour mark, but generally speaking, or in the bigger picture of things, the other points are what you're looking for. They are the bread and butter if you run. The time objective is only a bonus.
Yes, but though that point for killing the jelly, if you get that, you're golden, but you're probably gonna end up in like top 2 or 3. Depending on how many others do well, but so it will definitely make a bigger difference than like a party composition or capsule monster, but there is no way to guarantee that you will get there and that you will manage to get the items you need for a kill, so it's always like a high risk. Or do you go risky, or do you go safe, or do you try to get somewhere in between of those two?
Yeah. So once you find yourself at a reasonably deep floor, you're definitely gonna disregard that goal in favor of maybe opening a chest that has an item you need for the kill. Or, 50 chests, if it has to be. And indeed, Dragon Seal got 2 blue chests in one room. There was a Spark Staff and an Engage Ring, both items that other runners had previously gotten before in this very race. And we're seeing a lot of blue chest symmetry in these races here. This is not something I would expect.
I would not know what the odds for that, because
Never tell me the odds.
No.
Wait, that was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Oh, and there's Elizabeth for Nemesis.
Ooh, that is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is reason to celebrate. Lizard Blow can be equipped by every character, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's is it the second strongest of the finishers?
I believe it is the strongest 3 times weapon, but you can get better ones with Cancer and Hedora.
Yeah, or Gadis.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep. So.
Speaking of 2 extra attacks, but yeah. Yeah, so generally explaining the jelly fight, I mean, very roughly, you're looking to get a certain number of equipments. One is to get fractional attacks, which means dealing damage based on the leftover HP of the enemy, which for the jelly who has 10,000 HP is very potent. And then you get finishers that deal a large chunk of damage based on your attack power. And if you combine the two, that is your best chance to actually finish the boss in the 3 rounds that you have to kill them to finish the run.
You generally want Decker Blade, Myth Blade, the Uncursed Deadly Rod. These are your fractional weapons, which RC just explained. They will do a big chunk of damage, but and as finishers, you want Lizard Blow, Gadis Blade if you have Guy, or if you don't have a Decker Blade, then you can put it in Decker. But you ideally have it if you have Guy in your party, and then you have the 3 times attacks. You can do some stuff there, and then you have the tier 3 spells for Artie if you don't get anything else, or an Uncursed Deadly Rod on him. And also you have like things like Trick, which can give you a damage boost, which is very useful.
Yeah. So since you mentioned Guy, one reason for the optimal party composition, which is Decker, Artie, Guy, and Maxim, is that you have Decker and Guy who both can equip some of the strongest weapons, and anyone you could replace them with. So Decker is basically a character you would never replace just because of the high HP in a run like this. Artie is very, very fast and has great MP. So that is definitely your second best character, and Maxton is your default character that you cannot normally replace. So that leaves you only with Guy you could replace, and you will see all the objectives if you check the rules. Have like replace Guy with TR Selin or replace Guy with Lexus, giving you some points. But that not only does it give you a different party setup that has less HP because Guy is pretty tanky, it also reduces your options for Jelly Fight. So just so you know what players have to consider here in their party setup. And yeah, people are probably thinking about that when they chose a very standard looking composition here for most of these runners.
Which is also one of the reasons why Tia as a replacement for Guy is a little bit of a surprising combo, at least in my eyes, because Selin can replace some of the functions Guy do, because she gets quite powerful on high levels, but Tia is more of a replacement for Artie because she's fast.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what she would do in a jelly fight except for Uncursed Deadly Rod.
Yeah. So Selin has a bit more attack power at the jelly fight, so she's arguably a little more useful. However, Tia is the more useful character throughout the run because of her speed and being able to double up on the Deadly Rod user. So you get basically 2 chances of instant killing an enemy, provided you have the gear for it, instead of just the one with Artie. So 2 fast characters are something you're gonna take, but of course you're gonna somehow make up for it at the jelly. So depending on the category you play, for any percent you would probably use Tia, because you're really looking to optimize your run to go fast and to not lose any time on the way. For other categories like 100%, you would probably pick Selen, because she has a couple more options and the higher stats, except for agility.
Yeah.
In the end, anyway.
And she gets more powerful the more levels she gets, like comparatively more powerful.
Yeah.
If you're...
there is a Mega X for Dank Meats.
Oh, nice. Other items which you might want to have for the jelly fight is Cancer Rocks, Hydora Rocks, Old Swords, and these kinds of things. Golden Rock, right, of course. Which they don't do all that much. They're not Myth Blades, they're not Deckle Blades, but they do some stuff which might be like the difference between a kill and not a kill.
Yeah, so since you mentioned Deckle Blades and Chad also mentioned it, I'm not sure who all has a Deckle Blade. I think some people found it.
Yeah, I know there are 2 people who has it, but I don't remember who. Or 2 people who found it, but I don't know if they still has it, because Skipsy has died. I don't know if it was Dragon or it was Dank, or I don't know.
Or both of them.
Right.
So I still see them being roughly the same floors. So if they both have a Deckle Blade, that means this is going to be quite the head-to-head race here between those 2. Of course, not disregarding any of the other runners. I see Nemesis also at a very comparable floor, if not out of Dank Meats here, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, Nemesis has the Lizard Blow, which is very nice.
Yeah. So the reason... Oh, I read that Dragon CO just got a Hydora Rock, which of course is amazing, because that's basically turning his Sizzle Sword? No, wait, that was Dank Meats. Well, in any case, it turns his strongest weapon into a 3x weapon. And that's always great to have. That's basically a makeshift finisher to go along with whatever fractionals you hopefully also have, because a kill without fractionals is really hard, up to the point where I would not expect anyone to get it in a marathon ever.
Yes. Fractionals are very good when your enemy has a lot of health, because it takes off a percentage of their health, but to finish it off you need something that does direct damage.
Yeah. So what I was going to explain before is that the Deckle Blade, which we have repeatedly mentioned, and that's definitely being a key item in anything Ancient Cave, as long as you have Decker, the character. So it's adequately named sword. It has an IP attack that gives you a 50% fractional, so you're basically cutting the opponent's HP in half, plus a bit of bonus that you get from being in the front row. So it will do an average damage against the jelly of 5,500, and if you just pay attention to the damage you're dealing here with all the characters, obviously they're not at their max level yet. Oh, and as we said, Dank Meats finds a Deckle Blade.
Yeah.
So he definitely has one now. Yeah, if you're paying attention to damage numbers, 5,500 is pretty good. It is higher than anything you will see here, guaranteed. And yeah, if you, like what you just said, Rocket has said, in the beginning it does more damage. So against an undamaged jelly, it will do 5,500, but against a jelly at 3 HP, it will do 1 or 2 damage. So. And that is why you need finishers at the end. Don't use a Fatal Blow against a jelly with 3 HP, please.
No.
You always want to use your fractionals in the first couple of turns, in the first turn.
Yeah. Which is often why we have RT throwing a trick on the first turn, so it doesn't take off any damage with, because Artie is going to be faster than Decker, and Decker will be having the Decker blade as implied by the name of the weapon. So if Artie casts tricks, then he boosts the attack power of the rest of the party, and he doesn't go and take off damage health from the jelly. So when Decker hits with his fatal with the Decker blade, then he does more damage than he would.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm being informed in chat that he can actually kill at 3 HP with a failed blow.
Oh,
I
haven't tested it, so I'll admit that is not something I've ever thought of testing. So
yeah,
Ooh,
as you said, just a regular attack.
Yeah, just punch him, punch it.
Yeah, so the Curse of the Nemesis. Sorry?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say the Curse Lifter from Nemesis puts him in a good spot because I believe he has a Deadly Rod, so if you uncurse his stat, with the rule change, he doesn't lose any more points for it, so he has an uncursed Deadly Rod and a Lizard Blow, which means he has a really good fractional and a really good finisher. So he just needs a couple of things to round it off, and he might actually get a good kill here.
Yeah. Interesting enough, 4 of our runners now are all at 65 points.
Oh yeah, that's
Starting
true.
at slightly different point levels. They're all the same now. And I have only seen 1 Iris item so far, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Me too. Yeah, so can't overstate this probably, but I see healing tile that doesn't get slashed. Good. There is. Oh, that triggered me so hard I completely forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. Oh yeah, that you can't overstate how much points might change towards the end, especially how the jelly kill goals are weighted in. There's a third Decker blade for dang. How the jelly kill goals are weighted compared to everything else. So. Ooh, and I'm seeing Nemesis encountering Goldworms from an angle that you not want to encounter them. But he manages to get away pretty well.
Yeah, Goldworms is one of those enemies who, for new players, is kind of a gatekeeper, because they are a little bit tricky to figure out the movement of, and they will wreck your face when you aren't ready for them.
Yes, so that's definitely something you wanna try, especially since like right here they appear in combination with Warm Eyes, which in itself is not an enemy one.
Yeah, the second big gatekeeper.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the gatekeeper as much as an enemy that's movement. It's reasonably hard to get used to.
Yeah, but Worm Eyes in a hallway are a nightmare for anyone.
Yeah. Almost a beautiful IP build, I guess. Apparently, Cell to Cell was in a tough situation or room.
Yeah, he was in a party room with some iron golems and.
Oh, so there is an old sword for Dragon
Yeah,
CO.
that's the party room.
So the old sword is a fractional that takes off 1/6 of the health of the enemy, and if you have a Cancer Rock, which gives you 2 extra attacks at a jelly fight, you can actually get, it gives you 1 extra attack combined with the old sword, but you can actually get an extra attack and a fractional out of that weapon, which makes it, I think, unique in that regard. Oh, I guess the deadly sword, but
Yeah.
we don't talk about the deadly sword. I'm glad that Dankmeat's covered in the first round's commentary to great lengths why it's a very bad idea to equip a deadly sword.
Right. It used to be very sought after when I started looking into the AC runs then Deadly Sword was considered a very good item, but as tactics have evolved, we have come to realize that it's not that good.
Yeah, we have stopped being cavemen who think Deadly Swords are good items.
And it's good that Solar Cell has his stairs not in the room of horrible things that want to kill him. That's very nice.
Ancient caveman. I see what you did there. I like it. Yeah, I suppose you can equip a Deadly Sword if you have a bunch of Curse Lifters, but for once, you're not gonna have a bunch of Curse Lifters.
You're not gonna have deadly weapons at the same time as you have a bunch of Curse Lifters.
Yeah. And I mean, the other reason is that for most enemies, to really make great use of the Deadly, you also want to outspeed your enemies, and Maxim, who's the only character who can equip the Deadly Sword, simply does not do that very well.
See, Tank is in a party room with a blue chest, so that could be interesting to see what is.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see that. Still trying here, and he manages to.
Yeah, no Squiller. Yeah, he didn't have to go through it. He just had to sneak around the edges of it twice. Ooh, a C-ring. That's... That's an item that exists.
Yeah, Tank's treasure room is definitely... I mean, he's gonna be happy for that C-ring in just a second.
Yeah, it gives... Doesn't give a lot, but it does have 25 defense, which is okay.
The C-ring, you mean? It's 20 agility, I believe, which is...
No, isn't it 10? 10 agility, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the two. In any case, I mean, even 10 is a good amount, being as so few items have it. And yeah, as I was mentioning before, that agility is a really important stat among all the ones you get in Lufia too. Part of that is that there is a really hard order in terms of which value you have versus the one that enemies have. So if you have defense, your enemies are going to deal 20 damage more, right? Or less, depending on whether you have high or low defense. Or whatever. It hardly makes a difference because hardly any battle is going to end up with your character surviving because you have 10 HP left or something along those lines. But basically every battle is decided by whether you just outspeed an enemy by 5 agility or 10 agility or something like that. And there is a second Lizard Blow for Nemesis.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, if he gets a fractional, he's pretty much set for a kill.
Yeah, so the teleport is not easy to navigate around, is leeches, and that is the one we're seeing on Nemesis' screen here.
Okay.
Skipsy finds the Dark Mirror, which is the item with the highest defense boost in the game. Also a blue chest item, at least until you uncurse it.
Okay.
And yeah, now he has to deal, now back to Nemesis, now he has to deal with a leech in that corridor, and that is not pretty.
Meanwhile, Solar Cell has been dealing with a pretty nasty hallway where he's been forced to fight Hedora, and there will be a Thunder Beast behind it, and then there's the Archfiend sprites after that, which could pose a problem. And under that again, the stairs are, so...
And so Nemesis decides to encounter the Leech, which is basically one of the only bad options he could have done here. There weren't really any good options. And now he just has to hope the Leech doesn't teleport onto the left side of the room. And as soon as he can get out of the door without the Leech teleporting into it, he's safe. Let's hope that happens.
So I just have to deal with 2 regular fiends now and not anything nasty. It's fought his way through 3 sprites to get to the stairs in that little hallway, and that's...
Yeah. While they share sprites with Archfiends, they're fortunately a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
And they have a very rare drop. It's called the Evil Jewel, which provides a 120 attack power boost, which is quite big.
Oh, that is very nice. I wasn't aware that it was that strong.
Yeah, it is ridiculously high. Unfortunately, it's also only a 2% drop, so routing that in your run would probably not work out for you.
With
a chance of 98%. Yeah. But he definitely has an Uncurse Deadly and 2 Lizablows now, so if he finds a Deco Blade, he has a kill for sure if he manages to reach the jelly, so no question there at all.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of... Yeah. A couple of Orkies there, and it looks like he wants to fight them, although I would very much advise against that.
Because
okay. He took a chance there.
Yeah. The Orkies had been with him, he would have struggled.
Yeah, he could have waited for it to go all the way on the right and then face up, but I guess he took a gamble there, and it worked out for him. There was a 50% chance that... actually a 25% chance that he would have gotten screwed by them, but that did not happen, fortunately. Yes, these runs are looking very smooth compared to the end game of the first run. The first couple of runs, but I mean, anything is going to look smooth compared to the end game of the first couple of runs. So
Nemesis is now forced to fight a boat, which it's not a really it doesn't really do anything on its own, but it does summon enemies, and it can summon leeches, which we all know are bad news. So you kind of want to kill it while the screen is full of enemies, so it doesn't summon anymore.
Yeah. This is a bit of a weird enemy where it doesn't do anything except call reinforcement. So, matter of fact, if you have only 2 ghost ships in an encounter, they will just sit there and not do anything because that's the only thing they can do is call reinforcements, and the screen's already full. And of course, the feasibility of a ship inside a cave, like 70 floors underwater, is being discussed.
Yes. So one of life's greatest mysteries.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course they can defend.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean,
that's not really doing anything.
I meant meaningful action. Things that can hurt you. But you're right, of course. Oh, and there is an old sword for Solar Cell now as well.
Ooh, that's nice. We got Dragon Code just got a Gorgon Rock dropped.
Nice.
It's also a very useful item. Do not mistake it for a Gorgon Rock, which you get from blue chests.
Gorgon Rock, yeah. I guess one reason why Ancient Cave speedruns really work out well is that you can compensate for both fractionals and finishers by farming the right enemies. So you can compensate for a finisher by getting a Cancer Rock and a Hedora Rock, and the Gorgon Rock takes care of your 1/8 fractional. So yeah, there is always backups you can get in case you can decidedly go for it, I guess. In case you're not getting the chest items you want. And there is like a massive 1,100 something attack from Meats against Genies there. Probably due to his Mega Axe I think he found against Earth Genies. Like four digit damage numbers in Cave are not something you see in non-100% runs a lot of the time. And another Scissor Sword, this time for Nemesis. So between the 10 runners today, we have seen 4 Scissor Swords. That is really ridiculous. It is a good sword for what it's worth. Yeah, we're at 1:15 with 45 minutes left in the run. Right. Everyone seems everyone who did not take a death yet seems well on track to make it in time for the jelly fight for sure.
Skipsy has elected to run solo RT, which for maximum speed, of course.
Interesting.
Oh, trick for Dragon Cove. That's good. That's very nice. And it looks like we're gonna get Jelsa to 4th form?
Yeah, and straight up to 5th form. So you could see the several, flavors of milk rice cycle through there. And the 5th form is actually, a fox or kitsune, I guess. Exactly what you would expect.
Right. Soap suds, and then bigger soap suds, and then bigger soap suds, and then bigger soap suds, and that becomes a 9-tailed fox.
Yeah. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, that's definitely how evolution works.
Yeah. Alright, so I need to get a feeling for floors again. I just saw Dank entering 75 and I see Archfiends everywhere.
Okay.
I would assume that Dragon CO is already at those floors. Nemesis is probably close behind.
Yeah. I think he's up there, like, not definitely not that far away from the others. Oh, that Archfiend spread was luckily just Ice Rogues, and I hate his wagon. Which, Gorgon Rock, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But the one that is not Gorgon Rock.
Yeah, that one is neither a red chest nor a blue chest item. You can only get that one from enemies. There is no way you can find it in the chest. The Solar Cell just got a couple of cores. It's great. He now finds himself as level 30 from... And that's a level where he's sitting at pretty comfortably. Skipsy finds the Ice Ring here. That's also an item we've seen before in the run today.
Yeah.
This is quite strong.
Especially as
Nemesis. Yeah.
Skipsy's died again and restarted again. But now he's got an Ice Ring, so I'm rooting for him. 45 minutes, he can do it.
It's gonna be definitely hard to do that, but
yeah. Hey.
I wish him the best of luck.
Sure. Yes.
Nemesis finds himself in arguably one of the worst encounters against an Archfiend and a Leech. That is a pretty terrible combination, since the Leech will always outspeed you and the Archfiend always does 2 attacks. He's looking to kill it here, or actually he escaped there, which is a good call. Yeah. I was just about to suggest that.
He's in a very unfortunate doorway between 2 Archfiend sprites. That is generally a situation you really don't want to find yourself in.
So now every time I look at Dang Meets the battle screen, I see that Fox, and you don't see that Capsule Form 5. You don't even see the regular Form 1 a lot. Never mind the Form 5. That is quite a rare occurrence. as the Dragon CO shows us a really easy way to get the Archfiend around the bush and enter the stairs without any problems.
Okay.
Always great if you can do that.
Okay. Bushes on the late Archfiend floors are your best friend. And another blue chest, a Thunder Jewel this time.
Yep. So, Dragon Seal is already at floor 87, I just realized. Nemesis is at 77, so... That is... definitely gonna be interesting. As soon as you reach floor 88, you're pretty surely gonna make it to the end. If you know how to move around dragons and dark summoners, there's very few situations where actually...
Yeah, unless you get the party room.
Yeah, but even then... You can usually increase your chances by a great amount, like other than for enemies that have random movement, or even more random movement. Oh, and there is a Decablade for Solar Cell.
Okay. Oh, and he's happy.
And he found, yeah, again, Solar Cell found old armor just a couple of minutes back, and now Dank Meats has also found one. It is one of the few non-weapon items that give you, or non-weapon, non-rock items that raise your attack power.
Yeah.
If only by a small amount.
Camo armor also does that.
Yeah, that's right. So Nemesis is facing Archfiends.
Double Archfiends.
So far, they've played very well. One has done Stronger, the other one has done Destroy, which of course misses, because that's what Destroy does. And he might just survive this Gloomy. No, he doesn't, unfortunately.
Oh,
that was really close.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. He had a really good setup with weapons as well for the Jellyfiend.
Yeah, that's true.
That is very unfortunate.
That is a shame. So I did not see how he got in that situation or whether it was preventable, but that was definitely... he was fortunate already in the encounter. It was not a lot missing for him to actually survive it.
Okay.
So... yeah, that means the bottom of the row, three runners are the ones still... I want to say being able to compete for the victory here. Of course, Nemesis might still find an abundance of Iris items and secure his victory if none of the other ones kills the Jelly.
Yeah.
But personally, none against Nemesis, but I would hope to see a Jelly kill here, at least one.
Yeah.
Of course, there is also a second place that will advance to the wildcard round, so whoever secures the second highest amount of points will find themselves in the wildcard round 2 weeks from now, right before the finals, and making the fifth runner is going to compete in the finals for, well, a not yet determined prize. Other than, fame in the community and bragging rights.
Bragging rights for an entire year. That is.
I mean, knowing most of these people, knowing most of these people, they're all in here for the bragging rights anyway.
Yeah. Solar Cell fighting the Gold Gorons. Did get the back attack off, so. But he decided it wasn't worth it, so now he's just baiting him out instead. Which is a better choice, to be honest.
Definitely. They're so easy to navigate around. You can just slash them away a couple times and... yeah, and there was another Gorgon for a Dragon Steel. It looks like there's not a lot of blue chest items that only appear once in these runs, except of course for the gold eye, which we haven't seen again. This is actually one that gives you points.
Right. Dragon is now at 96, so it's looking really good.
Well, that was the 79th engage ring for Skipsy.
Yeah. 97.
Well, I was making up a number. But... Oh wait, 97 for
Dragon Co.
Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna see. He's racing there, so if he manages to finish the fight below 130, he can actually secure an extra 10 points, which is gonna be great. So let's take a look at the setup here. Like I said before, you wanna try and get a pretty good combination of fractionals and finishers.
Yeah, you got a Decker Blade on Decker, Old Sword on Guy, the Hidora Rocker, Thunder Jewel, or what? Got a Circle Rod on Artie and a Deadly Sword on Maxim. Which he doesn't look like he's uncursing, so going for that extra point there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, those points do no longer exist.
So oh yeah, they don't. So
maybe he just doesn't have a curse lifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here.
Yeah, get your calculators out.
Yeah, so explaining this again, this fight again, the jelly has close to 10,000 HP. It's 9,980, and you get 3 rounds of actions to decimate it. The jelly does not attack you, and he even will heal your HP in the first round, heal your MP in the second round, and will say something morale boosting in the third round, I guess. And he will pretty much let you do your thing. They can focus on the optimal setup, and yeah, let's see if that works out. 3 minutes is definitely a time where he should be able to get it if he has a kill.
If he gets it before the 130 mark, he gets several extra points.
Yeah. 5 for every 15 minutes he finishes before the 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that will be 10 points. And it would still be 5 extra points if he doesn't make it, but...
Yeah, and...
So we're seeing a lot of fractionals here.
Okay.
It is a decent chunk of damage they dealt there.
Right.
I'm gonna say that was close to, close to 8,000. That is
7,631.
Most definitely a kill. He still has the Hidorok left, which does 3 times strength attack in 1 turn, or 3 1-time strength attacks, I should say. It's not great from Artie, but as you can see, it's a free 500 damage or so. Thought it's gonna be a 2-turn, but... yeah. So Sully's chipping in.
Yeah.
Doing the Parish Punch there. And... okay, we're already at 9,300 damage. I read in chat, so that is an easy kill. You can just hold L for the kill. And that is gonna be a sub 130. So
yeah. That is very nice.
Congratulations to Dragon CO finishing his run. However, that does not mean he's the winner of this race, because Dang Meats is still going strong, and Solar Cell also has every opportunity to win this. So yeah, while the run is over for Dragon CO.
Yeah. Still have 31 minutes to go before we can tell.
Yes. An ongoing joke is that Dragon CO plays this game once a year, just to compete in tournaments, and he pretty much always does a good job at playing, so... yeah. Definitely a good showcase again.
Looks like Dank is needing some IP on Guy before he can stampede off to the jelly.
And he's also not losing breath here, so he was running down there very fast.
Hey.
I'm not seeing anyone going for the gold objectives, and Dragon Seal at the very least had like half an hour to go with, so that is something he could have done, but decided against, which is perfectly fine. Maybe Dankmeats is gonna use different strats, but I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not sure if Solar Cell, by the time he gets there, has the luxury of making that choice, or whether he just has to go for the jelly straight away. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If I'm not mistaken, they all have the Deca Blade, like all 3 leftover runners who could get to the jelly in time reasonably. Do have a Deca Blade. And I guess Dankmeat's got his IP just now.
Yep, that's good. I don't know what he has for guide, so I don't know how much IP he needs.
So Dragon CEO is apparently selling in order to get 700,000 gold. However, whether the rules allow that or not, I'm not sure if they do. However, the run has ended with a jelly kill, so either way, he would not get those points, unfortunately. But I definitely like the idea.
Doesn't say anything in the rules about it, so.
Yeah.
But the run is over when the jelly is 4th killed, so.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, still.
It's a nice try, but it's not
yeah.
gonna be enough.
I mean, you have to leave your stream on for 30 more minutes. Might as well do something with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Dankmeats finds himself at 366k right now. That is definitely a convenient amount for the number of floors he has left, and he can pick up a number of dragons, so he could easily get to the 700k if he chooses to do so.
Yeah, dragons are the ones that give the most gold, those and ice rogues.
Yeah.
As far as I've understood.
Yeah, so Carbo dragons are around 18,000. Silvers should be 22,000. Golds are 27,000, something like that. I'm pulling those numbers from the back of my head. And ice rogues are 14,000, so they're still, or how early they appear, they're pretty close to coppers there.
Right.
And Dankmeats finds a silver sword, and Solar Cell finds Strix, so both very important items for Jelly Kill. They're probably both going to be happy to have them. Yeah. Meanwhile, Dragon Seal manages to maxes out his inventory just in the Gruberg store. Alright. Let's focus on the ones still playing, I guess.
Yep.
So we're seeing Dankmeats at floor 94 and Solar Cell floor 76, so...
Yeah, they're both, like, Dankmeats is definitely gonna get there as long as he doesn't run anything absolutely horrible, and Solar Cell is also making good time. He can make it.
Yeah.
Actually, Dragon Coal was the one who got the Iris item, wasn't it?
I do not have access to the score document right now, and I don't remember anything because I'm old, so
okay.
I'll take your word for it.
I think he was the one who found an Iris staff at some point. So those points, if the other ones actually managed to get a kill off, those points might actually matter.
Yeah, I mean, also, with a couple of floors left. Oh, there's an Iris helmet actually for Dankmeats. I was just about to say, with a couple of floors left, there could also be some change into the points that make you rethink your ideas. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I can also tell that Dankmeats is not going for the gold the way he's playing.
Yeah.
Because you do need a decent amount of dragons to to even get to the amount. So. Oh, there is a Myth Blade for Solar Cells, and now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
Yeah. So he has Deca Blade, Old Sword, Myth Blade. He's spoiled with good fractionals.
Yeah. I'm unsure about his finishers, but I think he's got... Yeah, he should have like at least some ×3 attacks available for him.
Yeah, so of course he's still... Oh, there is an Iris armor for Skipsy.
Oh.
Nice. Still claim in some points.
Yeah. Helps to remind the cave that they exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solar Cell is not out of the danger zone regarding Archfiends, so...
No. But this one
Yes,
should be easy to get around that chest and then sneak past.
Let's hope so. He's not doing this as clean as it could be, but clean enough, so that's fine.
Clean enough. Good enough. And another healing pad for him.
Yeah, so he only has a couple of floors. I
Right.
have all the faith that he's going to make it. Meanwhile, Dank is probably looking for the last couple of stairs. But he's still opening, so... I'm not sure how high he considers his chances to find our Iris, which might mean he's... Well, either opening for the fun of it, or... he still needs some gear or another. Yeah, so the points each runner gets for reaching certain floors is a total of 100 points. It's 10 floors each, with the exception of the last one, which is like the last 9 floors also gets you the last 10 points.
Alright, time to
so we see Dank needs...
Yep. He's got his Mega Axe and Decker Blade, so... should be fine.
Yeah. I assume... Yes. Oh yeah, he has a Cancer Rock.
And the Gorgon Rock, I think. That was a Gorgon Rock, not a Gorgon. Yeah, he's got a Gorgon.
Yeah. He's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely set. I guess he would have profited from the 5 extra points from the Deadly. This situation, because I don't think he would need the Deadly Rod. Would be better off with the Gorgon. He's still optimizing here.
Yeah, and we'll see about Solar, because Solar had a different team setup than the regular one, so he had some more points to go on there.
That's right, yeah. By the time he will reach the Jelly Floor, he will also have the 115 points that Dank needs has right now. Oh wait, he will even have more than that. He will have 125.
Yeah.
So... yeah. And... still in pretty good shape, I think. Let's see. You would be looking for a 2-turner with the points difference between him and Dragon CO. Well, there is an Iris Staff for Nemesis while we're at it.
Huh.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see that.
Yep. $6,276 on that round, according to W Reflect.
He does not go for a 2-turn.
No.
Reasonably so.
The great thing about having some unstandard capsule monsters here is you get to see their attacks as well, which is something that doesn't happen a lot, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Solar seems to be in a tight spot with the Wind Genies. They are the nastiest of the genies.
Yeah.
And three
because
of them
their agility. Oh, and Dank getting a kill there with the last hit of Decker.
Oh,
very nice.
Nice.
So, yeah, he finishes 15 minutes before the end of the run. That's an extra 5 points. He kills the jelly, of course, which is 10 points. And I believe... Oh, yeah, and of course the 10 points for defeating the jelly before the 2-hour mark. So we're looking at a total of 230. Yeah, that's also what I calculated.
Huh.
So he actually did finish 5 points ahead of Dragon CEO, assuming the points stand as they are now.
Okay.
So, yeah, now it's definitely Solar pressured into doing something here, or at least killing the jelly in time.
Yeah.
And Dank Meats is verifying his Iris helmet in the best way he can.
And Solar managed to get through past those Wind Genies, but there are more in the doorway.
Yeah. And the reason that Wind Genies are so bad is their agilities, so they most of the time will outspeed you, and if they choose to do their 24% AoE damage attack, then they will do so before you get the chance to deadly them.
Which is why it's very important to get that back attack. It's gonna save your life.
Yeah. Fortunately, they're quite easy to back attack, up to the point where most of the time you get 100% way to back attack them in almost every situation.
No, Squilla, there hasn't been any catfish duels today, so no one's been catfished so far.
Yeah, for sure, Dank Meats. That was a relatively fast finish still compared to the average marathon run, right? But Dragon CEO was just cruising through the cave. I mean, I don't want to say he didn't have any problems, but he was definitely at a great speed. And what pushed Dank Meats from 220 to 230 points was defeating the jelly before the 2-hour mark, which is an additional 10 points. So going from the 115 he had, it's 100 points for killing the jelly, 10 for killing the jelly before the 2-hour mark, and another 5 for killing him before the 145 mark.
Solar is up against an Archfiend and an Ice Rogue, which can be quite tricky. Don't know exactly what he's doing, but he probably has a plan. I'm gonna say he has a plan. Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Attack on.
So to not completely forget about the top row runners here, which is Skipsy and Nemesis. Skipsy, who was quite early, I want to say, taken out of the tournament by dying really early a couple of times, or getting killed by enemies, I guess. Now managed to fight himself up to ninjas, and is actually halfway through the cave, which is not too bad, I think, for the time he had left.
Yeah.
Definitely shout out to him. As Shadow mentioned in the beginning, he's definitely while not being a complete beginner, one of the more new runners. So, a direct comparison to the more experienced runners, such as Dankmeats and Dragoncio, you would be expected to be less routined, right? So, keeping that in mind, that was still a very good performance. And I mean, he's still going. He's not done. As far as it looks.
And he's got a whooping 15 minutes to make it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not holding my breath for him to reach jelly that time.
I'm just saying.
It would probably be possible.
Huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Or he could just find all the iris items really fast, and that still wouldn't be enough. But he'd got some kind of weird bragging rights, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of talk before the tournament was whether you should sign up having a certain PB or some threshold, and basically what I've tried telling people is that you should just sign up, you should just run, because like the cave is mean to everyone, right? So no one can play this run and for sure know you're gonna get a kill in the tournament. So yeah, don't feel bad about getting bad luck or not being able to kill the jelly here. Don't feel bad about entering a tourney, you know. So I'm definitely glad that everyone joined the tournament.
And even if you are new and you feel you don't know enough about enemy movement and things like this, just join and have fun, like, because that's what it's all about in the end.
That's right. Yeah, so Nemesis found the Sky Sword a second ago.
Right.
It's also probably not gonna matter a whole lot, but
it is quite satisfying to find it, though.
Yeah. One of the two items with the highest attack power in the cave, and also one that we've seen drop before. I guess this race across all 5 runners still had a really high amount of blue chests, which is not always the case. You sometimes have cave runs without getting a single blue chest. Of course, because you're not visiting every room, but yeah.
That miss on Artie was unfortunate, but
yeah. Yes, unfortunately, Skipsy had a few relatively early deaths.
Yeah, he got
He is a struggler, right?
But he's going, so
yeah,
which is good. So yeah, Solar Cell has been blocked on every attempt at getting through doors on this floor.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that happens. Sometimes the cave just decides it doesn't want you to go any further, and you gotta deal with it. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah,
I got Skipsy fighting Breeze Lizards, my favorite enemy. If he finds a Twistule, he gets the swag points, which makes him the moral victory of this situation.
According to the commentators, at the very least.
Yes.
Which is important, don't get me wrong. I mean, for all that people know, we are the final authority on everything here.
Yes, definitely. But no Twistule, so
no Twistule.
Yep. I mean, for all you know, Shadow. For all you know.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good opportunity to give shoutouts again to Shadow Kelly and Creekspire organizing this tourney.
Yeah.
They're the guys who who are really in charge, or at least I think so. And all the runners, of course, and our people doing commentary and points keeping in the background, people you don't even see or hear from, but they're working hard to show you those numbers below the screen that we got this year, which is very nice. And of course, Eve doing the art, who I forgot about before. A bunch of people involved. And of course, the rest of the community who, lurks and streams without end, watching people die to cave runs.
Streaming the cave is a good way to just get random people stalking you and just get assaulted should you hang out on Discord by people who have opinions on this game, which is a lot of fun, honestly. Oh, book shield for Solar Cell, that's nice. He's got
he's
10
getting
minutes.
it right after Archfiend floors.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna have to book it. He's got 9 minutes to reach to go down 10 floors.
Yes, he leaked a lot of time on that doorway. So hopefully the cave is a little bit nicer to him now, so he can actually get to the jelly. I mean.
Well, let's hope he's as lucky as Mike in the first race and can just barely crash in on the jelly floor before the time ends. So.
Yes.
The important thing is that he gets onto the jelly floor, which is floor 99, before the 2 hours end. However, he's also... Oh, wow. This is not a corridor he was looking for.
Oh, no.
That's also not as bad as it could be. Damn.
If he dedicates Tia to casting spells, then he doesn't need any IP on her. Like, she's not gonna do much with that IP anyway, so he shouldn't have to farm IP.
Yeah, the problem is that he needs an additional, I guess, 10 points from somewhere. Oh no, 5 points from somewhere. Otherwise, he's going to be tied with Dragon CO, if I'm doing the math correctly. So, because, I mean, unless he gets the kill before the 2 hour mark, then I think we're looking at a win here from Solar Cell even. But assuming he doesn't get that, because that is really going to be a challenge.
Yeah. Come on, Dragon, just go up, go up. Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
It's also, if you're of the superstitious kind, or if you like superstition, this game is very much for you.
And if you don't, like me, then you can still enjoy it, no problem.
Yeah. So basically, anyone can enjoy this game.
Wow, okay. That's one way to put it.
If they have it in their heart to enjoy things at all, I mean.
I see.
Right, we got...
and he gets another hallway of... Wow.
Teleporters. Just get a teleporter out of that room, okay? And then... Go away, dragons.
He's gonna move very carefully here, not to make mistakes, so...
Yeah, that teleporter is just so annoying.
Yeah,
no, it's not the most...
helping.
Yeah, it's not the most difficult part of the game, but put together with the dragons, it's just such an added stress level to deal with those teleporters. You just...
Yeah. Oh wow, but I mean, shoutouts to him for solving that situation in the way he did. He actually got out of the range for the Dark Summoner. But the Dark Summoner is not going to teleport in here again.
Yeah.
And he managed to get a back attack on both dragons. Both dragons are double gold. He manages to double deadly the first one, the Deadly Rod, and destroy. So let's hope that works for the second one as well.
Please, 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 come on.
Yes, and he gets the double kill.
Yes, nice. Excellent.
So he's at 550k roughly. That is way away from 700k, unfortunately. So unless he gets another couple of those hallways, I would not advise him to go for the monetary goal. because he definitely needs Jelly Kill to be able to catch up with the other runners. I'm not sure if he's aware of that, because I'm not sure if he's watching the streams.
Yeah, he's got 5 minutes left now, so he needs to go.
Oh, and he finds a myth play too.
Wow.
So, I'll be honest, this is probably the time where you want to stop opening, but in this case, it might have worked out for him, because if he manages to secure the 2-turn kill, which, I'll be honest, he might.
Yeah, that will be a lot of points.
Not exactly sure whether he can, because I don't know what equipment he has, but if he manages to do that, I think he's pretty surely gonna take the first place. There's no way around it.
He's got a Decker Blade and a Myth Blade, but I am unsure what he has for Tia and Artie.
Yeah. There's not a penalty for finishing after 2 hours. So in fact, if you reach floor 99 before the 2 hours runs out, you're not on a time restraint anymore. You can feed capsules and equip gear for as long as you want. And yeah, still everything will work as normal, but you do get 10 points if you do finish the run before the 2 hours, and you get an additional 5 points for every 15 minutes earlier than that, which Dank Meats and Dragon Seal both have shown us. And Solo Style gets a last-minute healing spell here.
Yeah.
We're seeing Skips at floor 51, so he actually has managed to clear half of the cave early on the run, which is great. Glad to see that.
It's really good. Now, let's see what setup Solar has. He's got Myth Blade, Old Sword, Snow Sword for Tia, Decker Blade, Deadly Rod on Artie.
He's got a Snow Sword in Hedora. That is looking very, very good, actually.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any IP on Tia.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's not gonna help. I'm not sure he realizes that.
Or maybe he got some on that hallway of horribleness. I'm unsure, but he didn't have any on her before that.
He didn't take any damage there, I don't think.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think she has IP. We'll see.
I also didn't see if he actually entered floor 98. I guess I could turn the music on to check. Okay, he did, so he's fine. So this definitely does look fun.
Yeah, he's doing the feeding strikes where you just shove things down your capsule monster's throat and hope things work out.
He looks like he's looking for specific things.
Yeah, but he started with like high tier things, which is you don't want to do that. You want to start with the cheapest things and then work it. Oh well. But he's got enough stuff that he can just shove it in and then...
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, he also got a lot of fruits. And he has a lot of magic fruits. What do you think?
Yeah, so no problem. Oh, one takeaway.
Yeah, it's not the charm fruit that you need for that.
No.
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, he can take his time now.
Yeah. But yeah, getting a 2-turn kill with Gusto and Tia, that would be something.
Yeah. So this is really interesting all the way to the end.
Yeah.
It's a very nice race. We had the first race of today was really interesting. And
yeah, this might be those bonus points for Inform Gusto. That's really good for him.
Yeah. So He's not gonna get the 2-hour sub 2-hour kill.
No.
Assuming he gets the jelly kill, he is, and I mean, he would have to do some input mistake, like trying to escape from the jelly to not get the kill here. I think I'm not entirely sure what his final equips were, but it looks like he managed to sneak into second place at the very least.
Right.
So those attacks, first one was alright. Fatal Blow didn't look too good. Not entirely sure.
6,500 approx. I would not try to go for a no Decker Blade with the weapons he had, especially. Even if I had IP on Tia, I would not go for a no Decker Blade on that.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's one final turn coming up to deal those 9,980 damage in total.
Yeah, 8,126 according to W Reflect.
And this is gonna get really close.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, with
I see it happening
yeah,
without the
we would
crit.
have it, but without that, I don't think it's not gonna be enough.
And there is no crit from Maxim here. So
No.
unfortunately, that is not a kill.
Yeah.
9,714, which means we are 276 points of damage away. That's very close. Very unfortunate.
Aye. But GG
But-
for getting to the jelly with all those hallways blocking him. I was
Yes,
very
that
good.
was a very good race.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. We had
Which
Yeah,
means
so-
we have Dank Meats and Dragon Co. First and second place. Which means Dank
Yes,
Meats goes to
assuming these
final.
points are final.
Yeah, if these points are final. And Dragon Co. will be going to the wild card.
right.
Yeah, so definitely shoutouts to all these runners. Solar Cell has done a great catch-up race from behind, almost getting a kill here and almost securing this wild card or even win here. Although I don't see how he would have beaten the 230 without a two-turner. Dragon CEO, of course, making a great race to the jelly and just finishing him in what I can only assume is record time. Dank Meats being very close behind, also a very fast run. Nemesis had a really promising set of equipment and got killed by something I can't remember. I just know it was pretty brutal, and I would have liked to see him finish as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Skipsy, who got really early punished by the cave, and managed to get himself back to the at least 50 floors all the way in the end. So definitely shoutouts to all these runners. They did a great job, for what I can tell from here.
And thank you guys for the awesome commentary for this race.
Thanks to you as well, Rocket.
Aye.
Yeah.
And thanks to Shadow Killer and Kriegspire once again for arranging this. And
Yeah.
to Evie for providing the artwork. And to our community for actually showing up and supporting this initiative. So,
Very much so, yeah.
All right.
Someone has said that this
Oh.
looks like fun, and I can only agree with that. If you want to see more crazy ancient cave runs, then definitely check out the Discord if you want, or check out the runners. There is a lot of them these days, so that's good. You get a lot of selection to pick from, and yeah. I suppose as little as I like to suffer, I can only suggest you meet up on Discord with the rest of us and get your people and video links and strats from there. Solar going with a bit of self-punishment there on his stream.
Do you want to take over, Shadow?
I guess not yet.
Nope.
Maybe they're talking to the runners and doing some final point clarifications. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you now. You're welcome. Thank you for the very professional hosting.
Yes.
You're doing good, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, they can't hear you on the stream, Shadow.
What is going on in my world right now? How about now? Can you hear me now? How about now? I'm not doing it again. I'm not saying it for the 5th time. All right, congratulations to Dank Meats and Dragon Co, Travitox, and Mike34 for moving on to the next rounds. Couple in the wild card, couple always to the final. Thank you to the commentators we had today: Dank Meats, Squealer, Real Critical, Rocket Pants. Thank you guys for everything. And we will be back next week with 2 more races, preliminary races. And so come back and check us out next week, 12 Eastern, 18 CEST for our European friends. And we always try to host or raid a member of the RPG Limit Break community. So I'm going to raid a friend of mine, Professor Palmer. So go say hi to Palmer for a little bit, hang out in his channel, and thank you guys once again, and we will see you all next week. Have a great day, stay safe out there, and be good to one another. Have a good day.
Be around.